Tens of thousands gathered in Glendale, Arizona to honor Charlie Kirk, the Turning Point USA founder killed earlier this month. His widow, Erika Kirk, recalls his final night, an evening of debates, excitement, and anticipation for a new campus tour. At State Farm Stadium, President Donald Trump hailed Kirk as a martyr and praised Erika's resolve to continue his legacy. The memorial became both a moment of mourning and a rallying point, where grief and politics converged in a deeply divided nation. In the days since the killing of Charlie Kirk, his wife Erika has been grappling with a mix of grief and resolve. Speaking from a Scottsdale condominium once used by her husband, she recalled his last night at home. Too excited to sleep before the start of a new campus tour, he rehearsed debates on whiteboards and treated the visits as if they were an Olympic event.
His adrenal glands were just going off. He got up and I could hear him eating something in the kitchen. He'd been waiting all summer to begin touring. The visits to college campuses were like an Olympic event for him. He trained for them. He had whiteboard sessions for hours, mock debates. He was just so excited.
The following morning, Erika texted him a brief message of affection before his flight to Utah, where he would later be shot and killed during a university debate. She described the tragedy as something she is confronting without medication or alcohol, saying her faith is giving her strength. Around her neck, she now wears the St. Michael pendant medics pulled from her husband's body in their efforts to save him.
I'm allowing myself to feel this so deeply, she said, without medication, without alcohol. The Lord is giving me discernment. To this day, I can't go into my bedroom. I'm rotating where I sleep.
Turning Point USA, the conservative youth organization Kirk founded, has announced that Erika will step in as its chief executive. A spokesperson called her the group's spiritual center, though he noted no one could replicate the founder's influence. Support has also come from President Donald Trump, who has twice called her since the shooting. Erika said the president assured her of his personal support, describing their conversation as soft and embracing. Now caring for 2 young children, she has pledged to preserve her husband's legacy. 2 days after his death, she addressed supporters in a live stream, vowing that no one would ever forget his name. Tens of thousands gathered at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona to attend the memorial service for Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, who was shot and killed earlier this month. The event, titled Building a Legacy, Remembering Charlie Kirk, drew a large overflow crowd beyond the stadium's 63,000-seat capacity. President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and other Republican figures addressed attendees, reflecting on Kirk's influence on conservative youth and political activism. Trump described Kirk as an American martyr, saying he spoke for all present and that history would not forget him. He also praised Erika Kirk, who has taken over as chief executive of Turning Point USA, calling her very smart and noting that she would make a meaningful contribution to the organization.
To Charlie's incredible and beautiful widow, Erika, we know the weight of this monumental loss is almost unbearable. But even in the midst of heartache and pain too great to even fathom, you have somehow found the strength and deep faith to be a comfort to millions and millions of people. And thank you very much, Erika. Thank you very much. Today, an entire nation wraps its loving arms around you and your beautiful children. We share in your immense and overwhelming sorrow, and we vow that we will do everything we can to ensure that your children grow up in a land where their father is honored and revered as a great American hero. That's what he is.
Trump touched on his interactions with Elon Musk at the memorial, confirming that the two shared a cordial exchange during the service. He emphasized that the ongoing investigation into Kirk's killing had been handled well, describing the work of authorities as incredible. the Department of Homeland Security designated the service as an event of the highest national significance, with tight security protocols in place due to the high-profile attendance and political sensitivities surrounding Kirk's death. Trump highlighted that Turning Point USA would continue to play a significant role in carrying forward Kirk's vision. He also acknowledged the difficulty Erika Kirk faced in addressing the crowd, noting the courage required to speak so publicly in the immediate aftermath of her husband's death. At a memorial service for Charlie Kirk in Glendale, Arizona, President Donald Trump used the occasion to rally his supporters against what he called the radical left. Trump hailed Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, as a martyr for American freedom and emphasized the influence Kirk had in mobilizing young conservative voters. While other speakers focused on commemorating Kirk's life and activism, Trump repeatedly attributed the violence that led to his death to political opponents, framing the service in overtly partisan terms. The event, held at State Farm Stadium, drew tens of thousands of mourners, many dressed in red, white and blue. Erika Kirk, the late activist's widow and new CEO of Turning Point, delivered a measured and emotional tribute, speaking of forgiveness and her husband's commitment to faith, family and activism. Vice President J.D. Vance credited Kirk with helping secure electoral victories for Trump by engaging young voters. Other officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, also addressed the crowd. Trump contrasted Kirk's approach to public debate with his own, noting that Kirk did not harbour personal animosity toward his political opponents. Yet, he emphasised a campaign-style call to action for conservatives, bringing Erika Kirk on stage as America the Beautiful played over the stadium speakers. Kirk, 31, was killed during a campus event in Utah. A 22-year-old student has been charged with his murder, though the motive remains under investigation. Civil rights groups criticised Kirk's rhetoric, while supporters viewed him as a champion of conservative values. The memorial underscored the enduring polarization in US politics, highlighting both grief and partisan mobilization.